All right, so was kind of communicating everything to everybody here before we got the stream started here. Time issues are probably going to be preventing me from moving forward with some of the non-D&D nights. I hope you guys kind of understand that. I have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things that go on in my day-to-day life, so I'm finding it a little difficult to find that extra time. But I promise you, I will do everything I can to kind of give you guys more in the future. It's just going to take a little work, especially with writing 2 campaigns right now and then playing 2 as well. Other than that, our D&D Sunday and Monday going on as planned, and our Civil War Empire game on Wednesday, 7:30, should be good to go as well. Hope you guys join us for all of those. Going to be a lot of fun. Is everybody kind of ready for tonight?
Yeah.
Ready.
Aye, Captain.
All right.
Wait, I'm the captain.
All right. So, going to give us a recap here. I was normally going to ask you guys to do it, but because we're on a 2-week delay between each session, I feel that it's kind of asking a lot for you guys to kind of remember what happened. So I'm going to kind of give some brief recaps of what happened. If you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, that works for me.
Sure, I guess.
All right. So last week, after lighting the pirate ship on fire, our party quickly learned the error in their judgment. At the bottom level of both of the ships, cages on either side of the ship were filled with Alliance soldiers that were being held captive. The commanding officer of the ship, found mumbling towards a glowing portal in the southern ship, was dispatched by our adventurers. As the officer fell, the party was greeted with a new voice, one who seemingly knew everything about them and far more than he possibly should have known. The man, named Tyrus, taunted our adventurers, attempting to manipulate Kaisis into entering through the portal. And after a bit of turmoil and a little assistance from Pandora, they were able to break the spell and avoid him going in. Using the key that they had found in the captain's quarters, they quickly released all of the prisoners, went around person to person, or cage to cage, released them, and also stumbled across a couple mimics in the process. The party would eventually get to shore, meeting back up with Sarah and Paradris, who showed a bit of concern at the loss of 2 perfectly good ships and the lack of supplies that were brought back. But he thanked them anyways and was grateful that they released the prisoners back into the help or the employ of the Alliance. The party rested for the night, but the attack on Kaisis wasn't finished. This time he found himself in a place that he wasn't familiar, facing a man he never met. And after what appeared to be several flashbacks, Kaisis made his way to a dining hall where he had to complete a very dark and kind of twisted puzzle to escape. The party, now traveling north, heads towards Narine through the Mystic Wilds, where they stand face to face with a Kinku playing a flute. Bring this up here, give me a second. Lorigus has stepped up onto a stump directly in front of the Kinku, and as he approaches the stump, Kinku's eyes look down right at Lorigus, and very calming sensation comes over him. The rest of the party just kind of watches. Nothing seems to be happening, but you do still hear the Kinku playing the flute. Sky Tarnith and Pandora, I need you to leave chat, please.
Okay, bye.
See you later. Don't die.
So, Lorigus, as you're standing here on this stump, this Kinku playing music for your fellow party members looks to you, and you're hearing things in the back of your head. And what you hear is kind of a riddle, and it says, "Back to the start from this log which I sit, right then a north past the old sunken pit, east past the archway, right past the rock, left at the frogs, but mind the croc. Your journey splits here, with choices of 3. Make a left at the meadow and the old laughing tree. Back to the north, should you find your way, where a turn to the left will not lead you astray. Make it here, and you'll have little more to roam. Another turn to the north, and you'll be wandering home. Heed my advice, and you'll be sure to complete it, or ignore what I say, and be destined to repeat it." And as he finishes saying this, and as you finish hearing this, the Kinku stops playing music, and he brings a flute down to his side. And we're going to bring your party members back in.
Was I supposed to memorize that?
Close.
Yeah.
Hello
He gave you a riddle.
Okay, that's a lot to remember. I'll try.
So, the Kinku stops playing music, the flute down at his side, and he stands on the edge of the stump, takes a bow before the party, and then vanishes into nothingness, as if he wasn't there to begin with. What would you guys like to do?
What do we see the whole time while
this is... So, while this is going on with Lorigus, the rest of the party sees the Kinku just playing the flute. That's literally all he's doing. He's playing the flute over and over and over again.
What? Lorigus, what the hell was that? Where'd he go? What did you say to him? I cannot be sure. I heard something in the back of my head, but it's... What did you hear?
Something more than usual, she says into his mind.
Yeah, a little more. Oddly enough, I think he gave us directions, advice on where to go. And what are those directions, Featherhead?
So the glory of this part of this situation here is I gave him very specific directions in the form of a riddle. The problem is the riddle is lengthy and it's a lot to take in, and if you don't prepare or make notes fast enough, you're going to forget things. I'm relying on Lorigus to figure them out once he gets into the room and says, "Oh, that's what it was talking about."
I cannot recall now. It was a long riddle. But should such circumstances happen upon us, I believe I will be able to help you then. Okay then. Can we keep moving? I don't see why not.
You can't recall anything?
Something about a laughing tree. Turn left at it. Left at a laughing tree.
Well, I hope we don't encounter one of those.
Alright, so what'd you guys like to do?
Are we supposed to be able to see anything?
You should be able to. Scroll down to the bottom left corner of your
Ah, there we
screen.
are, there we are.
Well, Lorgus, I suppose you're leading the way then.
Yes, please do. In case we come to this laughing tree.
Alright. Well, forward we advance.
That's the wrong forward.
Okay, so...
Right,
Oh,
guys?
hold on, I zoomed out too much. I can't see where anything is now.
Alright, so as the party enters this southwestern chamber, your eyes immediately fixate on this wooden rope bridge crossing the middle of the room, and four Kinkus sit quietly, looking down at the party.
More of these. Lorgus, do your thing. Talk to them or something.
I step forward and ask, hello. It is a large forest. Do you happen to know the way?
And one sec. Gotta open something. Okay, there we go. So, the Kinku to the far right starts and says, "Back to the start, of course. A right, then a north, past the old sunken pit." And then he disappears.
Can we hear this?
Yep, everybody can hear this.
Alright.
Well,
How curious.
no, you cannot hear this, technically. Technically, Lorgus would have to speak to them in the Oran to be able to communicate with them. So he would have to communicate it back to you.
What did he just say to you?
He said, the most curious thing. A right, then a north, past the old sunken pit. Back to the start, we shall go first.
Dusty, do you remember that? Can you remember that?
Did I technically hear it? I mean, that's just what he's conveying back, right? So
Yeah, that's what Lorgus is conveying to you guys right now.
I wasn't in their minds at the time, so we have to go on Lorgus's word.
Wait, Lorgus, where are you going? There's 3 left. Featherhead.
Have you three anything else to say?
And the second one right here stands up, takes a bow, and he says, "East past the archway, right past the rock. Left at the frogs, but mind the croc." And then he too disappears.
Lorgus, what was that?
He said east past the archway, right past the rock, left past the frog, mind the croc.
Okay.
Pandora's gonna jump into the mind of the last one and whisper a greeting as Lorgus is talking.
Okay, there are 2 left.
This one first, then.
Which one, right or left? It didn't ping for me.
Whichever one Lorgus is addressing.
Okay, he's
I
gonna
thinking there were only
probably
3.
yeah, he's gonna get the one on the right there.
I don't like this forest already.
What say you, my third friend?
And quizzically looks at you and says, Your journey splits here, with choices of 3. Make a left to the meadow and the old laughing tree. And then he too will disappear.
Lorgus, what did they say?
The second one's... Oh, I told you.
Third.
The third one says, your journey splits here. 3 choices. Left to the meadow, past the old laughing tree.
And she'll look at Skintarnith and nod confirmation on that.
I nod back.
And then assuming you're going to turn to the last one and ask the same questions, he will look at you and say, back to the north, should you find your way, where a turn to the left will not lead you astray. And then he too disappears.
Well, Featherhead, do we really have to ask you again?
Back to the north, should you find your way, where a turn to the west should not lead you astray.
Was that a left or a west?
That was a left. Or west. West, I said west.
She holds up her left hand and nods.
Are we done here?
I think we have as good a directions as we'll get.
This forest gives me the creeps. Ugh.
I think it's kind of quaint.
So small and dark.
Well,
Alright.
The first one said to go back.
Okay.
Right, and then a north. Do you find any sunken pit?
Well, hopefully the sunken pit doesn't find us.
Okay, so you guys...
This is technically the start here, right? Where
Yes.
We came in.
Yes.
Well, if it's right, then it's this way.
I hope you're right
Alright.
about this.
So, group up. You make it into the next room. As you make your way through the trees from your starting point, you step into a clearing and find a fairly small tree compared to the others that are surrounding the forest here. Attached to the tree, an archery target affixed to one of the very large branches hanging below the treetop. To the right, sitting on a fallen tree trunk, 2 additional kinku watch as you approach.
And this is the sunken pit. Wait, Featherhead, don't go down yet. We don't know what could be down there. Can I see anything out of the ordinary down there?
You see 2 kinku and 2 random frogs hopping around, and you see the archery target.
Careful, those frogs might be dangerous. I've never had a good encounter with a frog.
Are you sure this is the right direction anyways? Why do we need to deal with them?
Well, the old bird did say north, so perhaps we should skip this sunken pit.
East, the archway. Didn't someone say...
Scree,
Past
thank
the
you for the
frogs?
follow. Much appreciated.
These must be different frogs. We haven't gone north yet.
How many frogs could there be in a forest?
It's a forest. There are probably a ton of frogs.
Oh, I've never been in a forest. Okay, let's go.
And you look as you start to turn around, and the kinku jump up on top of the stump and jumping and pointing back at the archery target. It's hanging right here.
I guess I can't leave without it. I'll go and shoot it with my short bow.
Alrighty.
Can I make it a short bow attack?
Yes, please. Oh, look at that.
Pretty good. Pretty
So,
Nicely done.
as you pull the bow back and you release the arrow and it nails the bullseye, immediately the Kenku are very impressed and they're jumping up and down and celebrating. And in doing so, the one to the far east here sits a little treasure chest down on the ground in front of him.
Ooh, treasure.
I see they like your shooting.
I will go down after it. Careful to take a big way around the frogs. Ah, frog's moving. Can I open it?
Yes, the chest is unlocked, and as you reach down to open the chest, you find at the bottom of this chest a single pebble about 3 inches in diameter, sitting on a pillow in the middle. Though suddenly you hear the Kenku say something in Oran. And you watch as this pebble immediately sinks through this pillow to the bottom of it with extreme force.
Not another mimic, please. Not another mimic.
Can I come over and listen to what he's saying?
Give me a perception check.
Me?
No. Lorgus. So yeah, as you're watching this exchange go on, you heard the Kenku say in Oran the equivalent of the word heavy. And as soon as he said so, this pebble sunk to the bottom of the treasure chest.
Can I reach for the pillow?
Yes. You reach down and grab the pillow, and the pillow will not budge.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Try for the object.
Can I speak the Iran word for light? Or lightweight?
Yep, and as you do, nothing happens.
Darn.
I look at the Kenkus and point down at the thing and just look exasperated.
And they chuckle to each other and don't really say anything. You gotta remember, Kenku are very shady and trickster-based individuals. They don't really care what you think. They're having fun with you right now.
Oh, was this all a trick? Ugh, get out of there.
And then once again, the Kenku on the right says the Oran word equivalent of heavy, and you watch as the pillow fills back up with air and holds this pebble in the air.
Do I see this happen since I'm a ways back?
You do not. Lorgus sees it, though.
Let's get down of here, Featherhead.
Hold on. They've presented us with a gift. Perhaps we shall accept it.
They took it away!
They took it away from you.
Oh wait,
What's that supposed to mean?
does that mean the pillow floats away? Or is it just levitating?
The pillow is just flat, as if, it's just filled back with air, as a normal pillow would, when, if you take your head off a pillow.
It sounds like they're making the pebble heavier.
Yeah.
How is a pebble a gift? What are we supposed to do with a pebble?
You never know. We could drop it upon our foes.
Sink
I
a
point to
boat.
the floor. I pick up a pebble from the ground. We've got one.
Lorgus, would you like to talk to them and see if we can get it?
Yeah. I asked them in Oran, is this for us?
And they look at you and nod and smile. And then once again, in Oran, say the word heavy, You watch as the rock drops to the bottom of the chest.
Can I say the word? I say the word for heavy in Iran.
And you watch as the rock comes back up and the pillow fills back with air and it sits on top of the pillow.
I try and grab the pillow.
You grab the pillow and the pebble, or just the pillow?
Both?
So yeah, you can pick up both as you grab it. The pillow is just a standard basic feather pillow. There's nothing special with it. And the pebble, on the other hand, let me send this to you.
Wait, it's a feather pillow, and they're bird people?
Mm-hmm.
Not like sleeping on a pillow full of hair?
Do you mean to tell me you don't sleep on a pillow full of hair every night?
I'm glad to say that I do not.
And it should be in your inventory now.
Cool.
List of things that you can, or it's under the loot items.
Okay, neat.
Are you done messing around with your featherhead friends?
Yes, let's go.
And then,
North was the way to go next.
I believe so.
as you step away and start leaving, the two Kenku disappear.
Don't take it so personally. They're just having fun.
All right, so you go north,
Much
and
fun.
it allows you into the next room.
East at the archway is our next clue. Was it not?
Yes.
I
Do any
believe
of
he
you see an
said.
archway?
I believe he mentioned a sunken pit first. Did that really count? What is that up ahead?
That is a rock.
You mentioned a rock,
Yes, right past the rock.
but we didn't see an archway. Wait, what is that up ahead?
To your north is an archway. Give me a second here. Let me give you a description of the room. The room you walk into, directly in the front to your north, is a tall stone archway, ornate in design, with several depictions of dragons lining the squared columns up to the top of the arch itself. To the right of the arch, a very large, 10-foot in diameter boulder sits in the corner of the room.
I climb the boulder. Can I?
Yeah. You climb the boulder and you get on top of it and look around the room and see nothing out of the ordinary.
Could I do an arcana to identify what kind of dragons are on the archway?
You can give me a history check, actually.
Well,
Oh,
those are definitely dragons.
those are dragons, and there are a lot of them, and they all look like dragons.
What a
There are
stunning
dragons
revelation.
here.
Can we go through the archway?
Wasn't it east, past the arch, and right past the rock? I recall
Well,
he's
yes,
saying.
But dragon.
Yes.
Well, then we wouldn't want to go that way.
Well, yes, but dragons.
I do not want to meet a dragon.
What if it's a good dragon?
What if it's not?
Good point.
What do you guys want to do?
East at the archway.
I'd rather not get lost in this forest.
Yes, let's head east.
All right, so the party heads over towards the east door. Chat is saying that you should go and meet the dragon.
Meet the dragon.
That's his name. His name.
All right.
Like M-E-A-T.
Within all of our heads, we all think in the back of our heads, but a dragon.
As you enter into an oddly shaped room, the sound of at least a half dozen frogs are heard gathering around a very small lake at the end of the room. Along the backside of the lake, another stone archway sits, but it's kind of sunken down underneath the water, with only the top part of it sticking out. What are you guys doing?
Ugh, more of these guys.
What was the next clue?
I believe the old bird said left past the frog.
Mind the croc. Wait, let's stay away from that lake. Wait, they're coming closer. The frogs are moving towards. Let's get out of here.
At the mention of the archway being a little sunken, though, I do want to get a closer look, see if there's a pathway or something in there.
Dusty, they could be dangerous. They're moving toward.
They're just hopping.
With the frogs.
Okay, one sec. This is gonna be rough. All right.
What?
Oh,
Okay.
God damn it.
So as you get close to this crocodile that is in the water.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't see a crocodile.
One
I'm
sec.
still quite far from it. Oh, that is
Oh.
big. That hits.
Oh.
There's
Oh,
I am quite certain it has the reach, and that hits.
It's going to do 6 damage to you, and I need a strength saving throw, please.
Frog! Big frog!
so that's the croc.
Hey, nat 20. That's actually a
Hey,
19.
look at that. All right, so you're able to resist being grappled by this croc. And I'm going to need everybody to go ahead and roll me initiative, please.
Ugh, I told you frogs were bad news.
Oh, one sec. I didn't put that up. There you go.
Well, my dice decided to turn around. Hopefully this sticks.
Where's the initiative button again?
It's in the middle of your character sheet. Top middle.
Okay. Oh, got it.
All right. Is that everybody? That is
I don't know.
everybody.
I don't know about you all, but I'm not sticking around for this.
All right. So, with that, we're going to start here with Kaisis, who's going to move in somewhat closer. Is going to use his action, or the rest of his movement, to reach down and pull out his longbow, and he's going to shoot at the crocodile here. And that's going to hit, and
Kaisis, what are you doing? Let's get out of here. Don't anger it.
shoots it and hits for 5 damage. Nice solid hit. So as the arrow releases, it sinks right into the right shoulder of the crocodile, obviously angering it because you're in its territory to begin with.
Oh, Kaisis, you fool. Why do you have to start with these things?
All right. And with that, that's going to be his turn. Pandora, you're up next.
Well, Pandora's definitely not happy for being hit, so she's going to push up her sunglasses for a moment and then put both hands out, and she's going to cast Witch Bolt.
All right.
Woo.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
and so she's just gonna be channeling lightning into it.
All
Hopefully,
right.
there's some extra effect because he's in the water.
Maybe it murders all of the frogs as well.
She's also
So-
gonna back up a little bit.
All right, so with that, let me check something. Yeah, I'll say that because the croc is still in the water, it's going to double the amount of damage because it is a lightning spell. So yeah, as you hit it with the lightning effect, it does a considerable amount of damage. You can see that it kind of is a little annoyed, but still fairly healthy. It's good turn it.
Ah, you fools, you fools. Well, this might be the last I see of you, so goodbye. I'm going to use my full action to get the hell out of here. Go north, east, whatever this way is. Yeah,
He bravely
All right.
ran away.
All right, so are you going through the entryway to the north?
Well, that's the only way I can see out, right?
Okay. So you go to the entryway and you are now separated from the rest of your party.
Or I'm just gonna like hide in the corner over here and just think about what I just saw
Okay.
and what's going on in the room over.
All right. Lorgus, you're up.
Gorgus.
I'm sorry, I just realized I wasn't holding the push to talk button. I'll approach the crocodile. Like, is it on the edge of the water?
Yeah, technically it would be sitting right here at the edge of the water. It is just out of, you are just out of its reach.
Like, so if I were over here, I could hit it.
Yes, you would be right up against it.
Alright, so I'll use my movement to come here and hit it with my ukulele.
Sure, give it to me. Unfortunately, a 10 does not hit.
I'm now going to use a key point to utilize Flurry of Blows and hit it with 2 unarms.
Alrighty. Yeah, 19 hits. Alright, so yeah, you come in with the Yikawa, and as you swipe at this croc, you're a bit mindful of its snap and its bite, and as you go to jab it, it kind of flinches back, and it's able to avoid you hitting it, but then as it kind of moves, you're watching it, and you quickly come around with your talons, get a good swipe across the nose of this thing, doing a considerable amount of damage. And then yes, your second one hits as well, doing 5 damage. All right, so yeah, so your first talons hits, and then you come back around with your other set of talons, and as it hits, almost like ping pong effect, you hit it with one, and then you kick it back around with the other one. Again, it's doing quite a bit of damage. You can tell that it's starting to take a little bit of a beating. Do you have anything else that you want to do though?
That'll be all.
All right, with that, it is the giant crocodile's turn, and he is going to try to hit a tail attack on Lorgus, who is right up beside him. Does a 13 hit?
No.
All right, so he goes in with the tail, and as he swipes, you're able to quickly jump over its tail to keep it from grabbing you, but with that, he's going to flip right back around and try to bite you. Does a 23 hit?
Yes.
All right, so as he does so, in 1 second here. So as he does so, he comes in with this bite, and he's able to get a solid lock on your leg and does a total of 8 damage, piercing damage to you. With that, it is Kaisis' turn, and he's going to step around the corner here. He's kind of watching to see what's going on, and he sees as Lorgus is now taking a bit of damage, and he's going to go ahead and fire the longbow and hopefully try to help here a little bit. But no, unfortunately, as he releases here, the arrow goes just to the outside and kind of misses, goes a little over the croc's head. But unfortunately, there's not much else he can do. Pandora, you're up.
Okay, so she's going to maintain concentration on Witch Bolt with one hand. And so that's some continuous damage.
And now is that going to be 4 damage again?
It says you can use your action to deal 1d12 lightning damage to the target automatically.
Okay.
But the way this is worded, normally you can still do cantrips when you're concentrating, but this says you use your action.
Yes, so you can do a cantrip, but you would have to have a cantrip that's on a bonus action.
Okay, so it's still the bonus action one.
Correct.
I just wanted to make sure that the bonus action rule still applied because it said this is using the action. Okay.
Yep.
So let me roll the Witch Bolt damage first.
All right.
I think I hit the wrong button.
All right, so it deals another 6 damage. All right, so yeah, the additional reverberating, this crocodile's still in the lake here, so it's still going to take double damage here. And you see it kind of rise a little bit in pain. You can tell that this thing is hurting now.
She's just cackling madly as she's shooting this purple lightning at it, and that's all I've got. I don't have any bonus action cantrips yet, so she's just unlimited power, zapping it into the water.
Unlimited power!
Yes, that.
All
She's
right.
just zapping it.
All right, Skytarnith, you're up.
Well, I can't really do anything, right? Because I'm away. I mean, I can venture forward, but I'm still like, cowering at the corner, afraid of a giant frog.
You can do whatever you would like to do. You just tell me what you want to do.
I am going to do nothing.
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep sitting there, just upset.
All right, so Skytarnith stays in the next chamber here, terrified of this giant croc that's in the other room. And with that, Lorgus, you are up.
Pretty annoyed with the now pretty severe bite mark on my leg. I strike with my Yuklua.
Alrighty. Oh yeah, that hits. Alrighty. Anything else?
And I'll use my last key point to use, or what's it technically called? I'll use Step of the Wind to disengage as a bonus action. And then move away.
Alright. So you disengage. So you come around with the Yukawa first. A nice little swipe at this this croc that is still kind of reeling a little bit from the lightning damage it just took. But then as soon as you do, you get a little smarter about it, and you decide maybe it's better if you get away, and you kind of rush back to the rest of the group, and you're able to get out of the reach of this croc. With that, he's getting a little annoyed. Nothing is in front of him. He's going to drop back underwater.
How far underwater is he going?
He has sunk just below. So give me a perception check. Yeah, so both of you can tell as you're looking. You can see as he lowers down, he's literally just sitting just underneath the water, watching to see what the rest of the group is going to do. He doesn't seem like he really wants to get out of this lake that he's in, though.
But so I still have line of sight on him then.
Yes, you still have line of sight of him.
He is still getting lightninged.
All right, and actually, I should probably roll to see if Kaisis sees it. Perception. Yeah, Kaisis sees this as well. So because he can see this and he knows where this croc is, he's going to grab his longbow and shoot at him once again. And an 18's going to hit. Dealing 4 damage. All right. And with that, that will end his turn as well. Pandora, you're up.
She's going to scoot just a little bit closer to keep her eye on it, and she's going to continue pumping lightning into the thing. Because she can, as long as she can see it and it's not out of 30 feet, she can hit him.
Alrighty.
God damn.
Alright, that's going to be 18 damage. Nice. Alright, so with that, this electricity is now kind of cooking this this croc. You watch as he comes back up to the surface, the arrow from Kaisis sticking out of the left side of his head, and the electricity damage here doing a considerable chunk. Like, you can tell this thing is badly hurt. It's bloodied. It doesn't look very good. Anything else?
No, I'm finished. Actually, no. Now that it's come back up, I'm going to back up a little bit.
Alrighty. Skytarnith, you're up.
What do I hear?
You hear the sound of the wind rustling through the trees, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, well, I'm just staying here still. I do not want to go near this thing.
Alrighty. Laura, I guess you're up.
Still reeling from its last attack, I'm going to fly up into the air and, can I fly up in the air so that I'm essentially out of range?
You would have to maintain flight at least 15 feet in the air above it.
That's something I can totally do.
Yep.
And then for my action, I'll just take a dodge action, I guess.
Okay, so you're going to hover over top of it, like over in this area here? Is that the current plan?
Yeah.
Alright. So yeah, you decide to go up above this this croc, and you're just kind of hovering in the air, and the croc's watching, kind of tilts his head up and looks at you. And it is its turn, and it can't really do anything, so it's just gonna kind of swim around this lake and then once again disappear. If you are trying to keep an eye on the croc, I will need a perception check from everybody.
Including me?
You're not in the room, so you can't even see the croc. Oh yeah, so yeah, everybody can still see the croc. You see that it's kind of is starting to do a little bit of a circle around this lake here. Basically, it's just territorial. It doesn't want anybody around it. And with that, because everybody sees it, Kaisis is going to attack. Same thing again, going with the longbow. And this once again hits, so he draws the longbow, and again, doing the same amount of damage here, and another 4 damage. Still, this thing's still alive, but again, you can see it's now, the blood's now kind of mixing in with the water here, so it's a little easier to keep track of it. Pandora, you're up.
More lightning.
More lightning. Oh yeah.
Oh my.
Oh yeah. So yeah, tell me how you just killed this croc.
In just the completely most unethically PETA-friendly way. She's probably just laughing and watching it convulse and the water bubbling, and it probably bursts in places enough to make Lorgus sick, and she's looking at the frogs and it's like, you're next, sort of thing. And when it stops moving, she probably keeps zapping it until someone pulls her off. She's got a minute on this spell. She's gonna run it out
for as much as she can. All right, so with that, you're able to slay this giant crocodile, who, as I said, it was a little territorial of its little lake here. I'm gonna have to move this for a second. One second.
I think I closed the window. Oops.
Oh, for roll 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yep, so yeah, you're able to kill this giant crocodile. Took a little bit of damage. A few of you took some damage here, but otherwise you're okay.
Can I fly over to this archway over here and see what's over here?
You see a stone archway that has a bunch of like moons and stars and stuff like that on it. But other than that, that's really about it.
Pandora's gonna take a moment to recompose herself now that the spell's done. She is going to take out... Oops, sorry, ignore that. She still has a knife on her, so she's going to take it out. Did it die on its... Did it roll over onto its belly and die, or is it back up?
It is right on the edge of the lake here, and it would be belly up, yes.
All right, with it being belly up, she's gonna just take the time to quietly carve out its heart, say that it's for Kaifon, and tuck it away.
All right, and as you're cutting through, and you're kind of ripping through the scales of this thing, you notice that it has little bits and pieces kind of trapped in its jaws, and as you're reaching around inside of it, you do find a coin pouch, a spell scroll, and a potion of healing on this thing.
Good, because I needed some healing. I'm also gonna jiggle the coin pouch at Lorgus, and I'll open it up and see what's inside. I think this deserves a 3-way split since we did all the work. Don't tell the captain.
Wait, where did he go? Was he not with us here the whole time?
Not even for a moment.
And that is what you find.
Oh.
I'll make a note of this and we can swap or divvy it up later.
Yep.
And with that, she's going to put a finger to her lips and be like, don't say anything, and tuck this stuff away.
All right.
How much does the heart weigh?
The heart, because this is a large beast, the heart's going to weigh probably close to about 2 or 3 pounds, more than likely. Well, actually, no, it would be bigger than that, because that'd be about the weight of a normal heart. So yeah, make it double. So make it like, call it 6 pounds. Big heart. Very big heart.
Alrighty, got
You
it.
have a wife and kids? Big part?
He was probably a dedicated father.
Well, whatever progeny this man had is now pretty roasted, I believe.
It adopted all of these frogs. Now they'll starve.
In
Way to
the
go.
arms of the angels.
Way to go. You just made all of these frogs motherless.
How deep is the pond? Is it crossable to take a look at the designs on the archway?
Yeah, I mean the pond itself would be deep enough for the croc to kind of hide under. We're talking maybe, I don't know, I'd say maybe 10 feet deep. It's not super deep. It's just enough that it can sink underneath and kind of stay hidden if it really wanted to.
Gotcha. Lorgus, what do those designs look like? Can you tell me from there?
It's just a bunch of stars and the moon.
Yeah, so as he's describing this, you get this vivid picture of a crescent moon at the top center of the archway, and around it a bunch of constellations, some of which look as if they make patterns, but nothing distinguishable, nothing that would actually stand out to anybody.
Not even the astronomer?
Not even the astronomer.
Alright, well, I think we should go find him before he gets himself killed.
And we head on our way.
All right.
All while this is happening, I slowly think to myself that Pandora may or may not have had traumatic experiences with crocodiles in his past.
This is the first crocodile she's probably ever seen. She will have fond memories of crocodiles from here on out.
That rocks.
All right, so you guys are going to move forward into the next chamber up here. All right. So you are able to step through, and you see Skytarnith, who is in the southwestern corner, kind of cowering and hiding from this giant croc that it saw in the other room. In the room itself, however, there's really no distinguishable features. The room's pretty bare, and the pathways branch off in all four directions.
Is he gone?
Oh yes,
Yes, it's gone.
quite gone.
That was not a fight we needed to fight.
Perhaps.
Let's go.
Lorgus, which way next? I recall it saying left.
No. It
Left
says,
meadow.
well, we have already passed the frogs. So he says the journey will split here for 3 choices. And yes, left to the meadow and the old laughing tree. Whatever that may be.
Let's go.
Yeah, and she'll definitely point with a bloody hand left. That way.
I'm sorry, but I just realized you can use the arrow keys here.
To move?
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
This is so amusing.
All right. So you guys are going left here at the meadow.
Dusty,
Or-
what happened to you? You're covered in... Never mind.
It's not mine.
Let's say she
Alright.
performed in some experiments while you were gone.
All right.
I'm
So
gonna stay in the back for all this now.
as you entered this very long room, up ahead, you see some pretty tall grass in the meadow here, standing much higher than the rest of the forest path. On the right, a very large tree, mostly barren. And to the left, a large elk, which is eating the grass in the meadow. In the air, not only are you hearing the rustling of the leaves and the air kind of blowing through between the trees, you hear what sounds like laughter in this chamber.
Let's not kill this one too.
Maybe it'll tell funny jokes.
He sounds hilarious.
Is this bigger than an average elk?
No, this is an actual elk.
Have any of you encountered an elk before?
Oh, by the way, how hurt does Lorigus look? I know he got bit too, right?
He is looking pretty rough.
I'm probably limping around mostly.
I'm gonna go ahead and sneak that greater potion over to you.
Okay.
Thank you. I whisper. I'll actually use it here.
Can't have you dying on us.
Yeah, so what's the roll for the potion?
You can do a compendium check. It should be... Oh, I don't remember greater. Hold on. I'll tell you.
I mean, if we can get a short rest beforehand, I don't think I need to use it.
So a greater potion of healing is 44 plus 4.
That's true. That's a valid point. We probably could just take a short rest. We're not in any sort of dire situation unless that elk gets bloodthirsty. Resting would be great for me too. That'll get my spell slots back.
Yeah, and I need to get my key points.
I'm for taking a minute.
Sure. I mean, I just did, but sure, why not?
That wasn't more of a rest, more of you being absolutely terrified.
Well, yes.
All right. So you guys are going to take a short rest here?
Yeah, I think the two of us need it.
Okay.
Also, I need to piss.
This is not a break.
Pandora, give me a D20 roll.
$13.
Okay. You guys can take your short rest here, and nothing will happen.
Wait, what was the roll for?
To see if something was going to happen.
Wait, that's a thing?
Oh yeah, it's
that's a thing.
Oh. I forgot about that, actually.
Well, that didn't help me much.
Wowie.
That's an L.
I mean, 12 out of 15. I'm not too bad, but not where I wanted it to be.
So what is rolled?
You can roll your hit die to the maximum of your level.
Yep, so you see where it says hit die in the middle, right above your actions there?
Oh,
your
yeah.
Text. You click on where it says hit die and you can roll a hit die, but you can only roll as many as you have available. So if you've already taken, which you guys have taken a short rest, I believe, right? No, you have not taken a short rest since you left Ashenport.
Yeah, this would be our first.
This would be our first. So
Yeah,
we should have
so
two,
you will have
right?
2 hit die, correct.
Oh, so that
much
one's
better
an
than
8.
mine.
Yeah, that was much better. Okay. All right. So you guys take a few minutes, kind of recompose yourself in this meadow. This elk's just kind of wandering around, still eating the grass, and as you're kind of winding down a little bit, you're still hearing this laughter. Just kind of echoes through the chamber here.
Can I approach the tree?
If you would like to.
I would like to.
Okay, stop right there. As you move closer, the elk becomes spooked, quickly darting, heading towards the exit. I'm going to need a dex save from Pandora and Lorigus, please.
Wait, what happened?
The elk is charging you.
Oh, sorry. The Discord cut out for a while.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Watch out! Watch out!
Oh boy.
So you mean to tell me I rolled the 4?
We both rolled shit.
All right. So both of you, unfortunately, this elk takes off running, and it got spooked by Skytarneth, who started approaching.
Gee, I wonder who spooked it.
And it is charging and trying to dart out of here, and as it does, both of you are in the way, and you're not able to get out of its way fast enough, and you're going to take 7 bludgeoning damage as this thing quickly runs out of here and gets the hell out of Dodge.
So much for resting.
Shit. Ah, my bad, guys. Are you okay? Ooh, that looks. Oh.
From her grounded position, she raises a hand, and it starts to be the thumbs up, and then she just shifts it to the bird.
Lorigus is the bird.
The bird is the word.
All right.
Well, back to the tree.
Give me a perception check as you get closer to this thing.
I shall.
Oh yeah. So as you're looking at this,
That was not my roll. That was not my roll.
oh no, that was Lorigus. Sorry.
Oh, wait, was I not supposed to roll?
No, it wasn't you. It's for him.
Oh,
but
well,
your
that
roll
works
is
too.
the equivalent. So you're hearing this laughing sound. Seems to be resonating from this tree. And as you get closer, the laughing is getting louder and louder, and you're watching very intently. And the branches of this tree are kind of moving a little bit.
Hopefully it's not the Whomping Willow. Well, I'm not going to go any closer. What was the clue again for the laughing tree? I'm asking the party.
Left meadow and laughing tree, and then afterwards they said, back to north you should find your way. Turn to left will not lead astray. She
Or turn to the
groans.
west.
Maybe that means we have to backtrack to that room with the 4 directions. Shall we try it?
If there's no other way, she's still on the ground.
I'll go and help her up.
Is there no way north from here?
I help you up.
Give me a perception check.
She's up.
I pat you on the shoulder and just sort of like, sorry.
You're looking around, and the tree line around this area here is pretty dense. It doesn't look like there's a way out.
Well, I suppose we have to go back.
Yeah, I think that's the best way.
Well, to the north now.
All right, so guys are coming here. And as you enter through that, suddenly find yourself back to the beginning.
Oh, god damn it.
What a strange place this forest is.
Ugh, let's retrace our steps.
Or maybe we're supposed to be here.
Of course not. We were just here.
Well,
we need to do
weren't.
something with the tree.
What if we go north from here? After all, the person did say back to the north.
You may try. I mean, worst case, we end up right back here, so.
Suddenly, party wipe.
Bloop.
Alright, back to the
It's-
laughing tree.
Seems he was right.
This way, folks. This way.
I swear I've played Mario levels that are exactly this kind of mechanic.
Okay.
Ugh, frogs.
All right.
Ugh, more frogs.
This time, as you guys enter in here, Skytarneth looks forward and sees the giant croc floating belly up. Its guts and everything kind of scattered throughout the lake here.
Ugh.
Pandora doesn't even give it a second glance. She just keeps walking.
I actively avoid looking at it.
I hate frogs.
What adorable frogs, right, guys?
Yes.
What adorable
Back
frogs.
to the laughing tree.
Or, well, actually, I recall that the old bird said, here there will be 3 choices, and if we go up to the north, we'll find our way.
Yes, let's try the north.
We just
Because the last clues said it should be this way.
did we not just take the north?
No.
We went that way and tried to double back here, and it sent us.
All right. Okay. Back to the north. But if this takes us back to the beginning,
We will just
Where-
start
oh,
over.
God.
1 sec.
And
So in this room, similar to the previous one, it's mostly bare. The pathway again branching off in each direction, and a large boulder in the northwest corner of the room. One similar to the one seen in the archway room.
Well, the last clue they gave us was a turn to the west shall not lead us astray.
I'll climb on the rock and, like, with an old dagger, just, like, carve my name into it.
All right, and now
that
has
is gonna take a while.
No, just like a rough, like, scratching out.
a quick scratch.
Scythe was here.
Exactly.
Kilroy was here.
All right, so we're going west.
Left, west.
Yes.
Stop moving, please. Thank you. All right. The next room
There,
you
I think I see
enter.
light.
Aside from the glowing light to the north, there's really no discernible features in this room as well.
There were no other clues. Right?
Well, it's the way up is lit, so I believe that's our way out of here.
Wait. What was the riddle that you got earlier from the first Kenku?
Well, I think the parts of the 4 Kenku we all saw was the riddle split up in 4.
Oh. Okay.
So this was the original riddle, I believe.
Well, head into the lights, I suppose.
All right, so you guys are going to the north? Is it? Yep.
Kaisis,
Yeah,
you're being
sounds
awful
good.
quiet today.
Kaisis is a spy.
Certainly is. Oh, don't say spy.
But why?
Don't say spy. All right, 1 second.
Oh, thank
Whoa.
God.
All right, so party here. You guys find yourself just to the north here of, or to the northwest here of the forest here. You started at Ashenport. You're on your way up to Narine. You have cleared through the forest. Give me 1 second.
Oh my god, that music was killing me. It was good at the beginning, but like,
It was supposed to be just as obnoxious as the puzzle was to get out.
Oh, I had it muted.
So as the party steps through the tree line, you look down and you're basically seeing a very large hillside that is directly out in the clearing here. To your west, or as you look down, there's a pathway that splits, and it splits off to the west and to the north. And at the end, directly in front of this split, it has a sign which points north that says Narine on it. To the west, you kind of look over into the clearing a little bit, and you see that there's a small coastal shantytown. It's pretty visible. You see there's a few houses and stuff like that, but there doesn't appear to be much over there. And then the road to the north, it extends all the way across the coastline, all the way up. Looks like towards the city, and it kind of trails off into the fog a little bit.
so we can choose the path, north or west?
Yep.
I vote west.
What are the two options the old man gave to us?
Oh, man.
The Lord.
Saren?
He wasn't that old.
Yeah, he's not very old.
Oh, the
So,
young man.
So Saren was telling you to travel to Narine and meet his assistant, Mylela, at the city, and to basically tell her to start preparing the troops and stuff like that and get ready.
Cool.
Well, I say west.
Pandora flips a coin. Yes, west.
West it is.
All right, so you head west towards this shanty town. It's pretty secluded. There's not a lot there. It's mostly been abandoned. You see a few buildings, maybe 5 or 6. It looks like this little shanty town kind of ran low on supplies, and the previous owners just kind of packed up all their belongings and kind of left.
Can we explore this town?
Sure, you can give me a perception check. Lorigus, as you are looking around, you see what appears to be the only thing really left in this town is a book. And the book is titled 1001 Nights, The Dragon Wars.
I pick up the book and open it. And
All right.
read like the first. Is there a summary on the back?
No,
No,
but
just notes about the author.
you should now have a handout, and you are free to explore the chapters at short rest. So when you get to a short rest, if you want to look over a chapter, you can let me know and I will show you the chapter.
Cool.
Well, there
Yes, I
looks
do
to be
remember
nothing
one
here.
of the tribes of the Alliance are dragons. Right?
That is correct.
Well, there seems to be nothing here. Shall we move on? I'm tired of this journey. I want my boat back.
But the gift of knowledge is a great thing.
We don't know he got the book.
Yep.
We didn't see
Oh,
that he
well,
got it.
never mind. Ignore my bird brain keeping secrets from us. Shame.
Yes, the gift of knowledge is a great thing. Why do you say so?
She's talking to the heart.
All right, so are you guys heading back north then?
Aye, Captain.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
going north.
All right, give me a second here. All right, and I don't know, did I move the token? I don't think I
Whoa.
did. Looking for a token, one sec.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, it's on there. This is, I'll give you the full description here. Give me just a second.
It's pretty big.
So, off in the distance, it takes pretty much an entire day to travel here. I'm going to pull up a tracker here to make sure. So yeah, as you exit the wilds here and you start heading north, it's going to take you about a day to go from the wilds over to the beach and then start heading north into Narine. As you're doing so, you'll stop and take a long rest, so reset spell slots, everything like that. Get prepared, and then you'll head into town. Off in the distance, you can begin to make out what appears to be a very large city. Outside the city, a very vast shanty town that stretches as far as the eye can see. The area appears to be living areas for commoners and slums, with a few sections dedicated to, some of the low-end crafters, just giving them basic supplies and stuff. And every once in a while, you'll see like trade outposts along the way. Let's see, where am I at? It's readily apparent by the sheer number of houses here on the outskirts of the city that food and shelter are a pretty rare commodity. And that the people picked up and moved here to the city in desperate need or searching for whatever food they could possibly find. As you approach and you get a little closer to the city, you come to realize that the city walls are made of a glimmering gray stone. And let's see. Entry into the city is not prohibited in any way. You can enter through the gates at any of the doors. So there's one here, and then there's one at the north and one at the south as well. Let's see, where am I at? After entering into the city, you see a very vast difference from the shanty town on the outside here. Throughout the city, Alliance guards and militia fill the streets, primarily guarding entries into important districts of the town and helping to reduce theft of food and such from the market. The poor and downtrodden often keeping to themselves in the very few remaining slum areas within the city walls. The houses within the walls are generally very grandiose and very clean, with elmwood walls, or elmwood rooftops and ebony wood walls, and a native bird species that kind of flutters all around. It's literally everywhere here. Kind of like pigeons, but like with a bluish gray colored feather. The inner parts of Narine have a very pleasant atmosphere to them. The main attraction in the town is the broken bridge, which you can see down here. And I can actually, I think I have a picture I could probably show you as well. I'll have to link it here in a bit. One sec, I lost my place here. This is pretty lengthy here. The main attraction of the town is a massive broken bridge, which stood for nearly 100 years. And it spanned the coastal gaps between Narine and the Victus city of Bria. The city itself has a very prosperous economy, though due to its location and the sudden influx of people, it can't support the sheer numbers with the proper amounts of food. The economy itself is mostly supported by winemaking and weaponsmithing. and their food supply largely comes from the fishermen of the Ebon Sea. Though even those numbers are down since the last major battle that the Peregrines took on. Biggest strengths of this are the engineering feats, which is very apparent by this large bridge. The nobles of the city are in the pink districts here. The city administration, anything that would go towards helping keeping the city running, is going to be in the purple. The temple, if anybody is interested in a temple, is marker 4 over here. And then, yeah, all of your other points of interest, it's on the little chart there. The docks, all the way here, and there's some to the north. They're pretty full, very lively, lots of things going on. Even though they can't supply enough food, the fishermen are still trying, and there's tons. They're working tirelessly to keep up.
Okay. So we all arrive together, and we make it our way to the market.
Sure. The marketplace within Narine is packed with people, but food is pretty scarce. The vendors within the market have trouble keeping stock supplied, even though they continue to do so as much as they can. The fish vendors and seafood are very quick sales. As soon as they bring them off the boats, it's almost immediate that they're sold. You do smell you get the scent of fresh baked goods kind of wafting through the air, though obviously because of the food shortage, they don't last long. There are also some good armor smiths and stuff in the area, though most of them are busy trying to keep the militia supplied with gear to move forward.
Can we stop, like, a guard, ask him where we can talk to the leader or mayor?
Yeah, so there are tons of guards all throughout the city, and you kind of ask, and the person's like, "Who? Saren? Saren Peregrines? Is that who you're looking for?"
No, we were just speaking to him. This city. We come from Ashenport. There was an attack. Pirates. Has word come yet?
No, pirates? What are you talking about?
They burned most of this village.
He's like, well, you might want to take it up with the current magistrate of the city. Malala is down over at Callbridge Citadel to the south.
Okay, thank you, good sir. Good day to you. So, we make our way, right? Anyone have any?
Yeah, you guys.
No objections. Yeah,
You guys can do. Yeah, you guys can do anything you want. At this point, you are in a safe territory, and there's tons to do here. So whatever you feel like you need to do, you can do it.
Actually, I'm hungry. Do we notice any, like, food that's around?
Again, it's
probably find a tavern if you want food.
Yeah, you can find there's several inns and stuff throughout the city. The food prices are astronomical because of the shortage of food in the area. So going in and ordering something that would normally cost you a couple copper is actually going to cost you probably a couple gold here.
Well, we have our rations. How about then? What's this knowledge district?
So the knowledge district is areas of universities and libraries and things of that nature. Everything from mages colleges to just basic schools of learning for everybody.
Okay.
Let's attend a few seminars, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I might head to the church. I mean,
Excuse me.
Looks something like cool.
All right. So you head over towards the temple. It's near the center of the city here. right next to the market, the Temple of Narine, as if kind of dedicated to all of the gods themselves. This handcrafted temple is designed by some of the finest engineers in the city, and it sets as a glimmering beacon of hope to the people. You can tell it's very packed. There are a lot of people that are coming here because everybody's kind of scared with the lack of rations and stuff like that. They're just looking for anything. The monks of the temple here attend to a very large congregation, all of which are praying to whatever gods they follow, looking for aid through their hardships. And then at the front of the temple, a cleric just performing an open invocation to the gods, which you guys could participate in if you wanted.
Well, I don't really care, but the gods never did anything for me anyway. Ugh. This place.
I'll stay outside, thank you.
This place. What happened here? I guess to the administration.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. 1 second. So you guys are heading to the Citadel then?
Yes.
Yeah, I think getting that information should be priority.
All right. One sec, I'm fixing your characters on the screen here. All right, so you go to... Oh, I'm going to take your light away because that would have been gone by now, Lorigus.
Oh, yeah.
Make that go away.
But I like being pink. Brings out my feminine side.
All right, so you make your way down to the Callbridge Citadel here. Give me a second. So to the southern corner of the city, within its own walls and up a hill, lies the Callbridge Citadel, the Narine home of the Paradris family. As you approach, you see the same gray stone which surrounded the outer walls here that make up the outside of this building itself. To the east, a single passageway that leads directly into the castle, which is where you guys are now, with 2 guards standing directly inside the door. Once you're inside and you're looking around, it's obvious that no expense was spared here. The floors are a shining marble with white marble columns that reach all the way up to the 20-foot tall ceiling. Upon entry, your eyes immediately affixed to the 2 banners hung at the back of the room, which would be downstairs over here, which currently hold the two different flags or banners. One, the blue and silver Paradris family banner, and then the other, the black and gold of the Alliance. To the left of the room, or left and right of the room, many people kind of wait to speak to members of the Paradris Council about various matters of import. Up ahead, you hear a lot of pleas from people begging for food and coin. Anything just to survive through the different shortages that are taking place here in the city. The council liaison quickly moves from group to group, talking to people, hearing their pleas and stuff like that, and he kind of checks in with everybody. And then as he approaches, he sees you guys who are nowhere anything like these people, and walks up. He's a man, 20-year-old, early 20s, human, medium long brown hair, bit of a nervous twitch, kind of brushes the hair out of his face and looks up at you. Get the sense that he's very distraught and frazzled with everything, and he says, please tell me you're not coming here searching for food and shelter. I certainly can't help any others today.
Oh, we wouldn't dare. We actually come here from Ashenport. Saren Peridris himself sent us.
Wait,
Have heard
you
word of
you
what-
said you said Sir Peridros sent you here?
Yes, Saren Peridris.
Is the city still standing? We haven't heard any word from Ashenport in months. Beginning to fear the worst.
Well, they have been under attack numerous times from pirates, and
Standing
recently-
is a word for it, yes.
well, sure. Well, it was burned quite thoroughly. We've managed to fight off the pirates for now. Burned their ships, gave them a taste of their own medicine, but they are rebuilding. We have planted one of our own there, just in case.
And he looks and says, and what has Sir Peridros said to do? I mean, are there any actions that we're supposed to take right now? It's been so long since we've heard from him. I don't know what we're supposed to do now.
Well, we are building an army. I step back to let Kaisis show his rank because he's a general now.
Yep, and Kaisis kind of walks up and he looks over here at this gentleman and kind of says, "Son, what is your name?" And this kid looks up at Kaisis and says, "It's Jeff."
I'm Jeff.
I'm Jeff. Kaisis says, "Listen, Jeff. It's a little tricky right now. Sir Peridris is in dire need of help. We sent some reinforcements there, but it's not going to be enough. We need to talk to somebody about getting more reinforcements there and possibly starting to build our army to prepare for this war." And Jeff looks and his eyes bit of concern and trouble at the fact that, you know, the city of Ashenport's kind of being burnt to the ground here. And he nods and says, "Well, Miss Valrora should be free any minute now. I'll let her know that there are some special guests. If you can give me a minute, let me go and talk to her. I'm certain that she'll want to speak to you. So please, just wait here and I'll go and get her." And he quickly kind of dashes off and starts making his way upstairs. And gives you guys a second to kind of catch your breath and, you know, figure out what you're going to talk to this lady about.
Can I go over to one of the commoners close to me?
Sure.
What's this one?
Okay. It's a human male. He's tall, long black hair, amber eyes. Wears modest clothing, mostly torn up, kind of ripped a little bit at the edges. Can tell he's just like everybody else here. He's just looking to survive at this point.
I'll discreetly just pass him one gold piece.
And
Just giving him like a look just of sorrow.
And he takes the gold piece and he looks at it, and the people around start crowding him, kind of, you know, panicked a little bit. Gold is pretty rare to these people because there's not a lot here. These people are hurting, you know.
With the onset of the crowd, Pandora is going to slink in the opposite direction away from them.
Yeah, they start crowding around him. But other than that, he's and you can see he's like protecting this gold coin, like it's like his life right now. He doesn't care about anything else but holding on to this coin. In the top here, I just lost everything. Give me a second. Back to the back here, the liaison Jeff. He kind of looks around the corner here, and he sees that the magistrate, or the lady that is currently running the city, Malala Valroris. She's currently talking to another commoner who's kind of disgruntled and upset and just bringing her concerns to the people of the city. And then as she leaves and exits the chamber, Jeff quickly rushes in and goes up to talk to her, disappearing for a minute into this chamber. And then you watch again as Jeff comes back out and comes over to this ledge over here and kind of motions for you to come around and says, you four, Miss Balroris will see you now.
Let's go.
Just gonna awkwardly brush past the people and follow.
So you pass by the couple of guards heading up, who are gonna let you pass because you're kind of ordered to come up here. This is like a ledge, so you're gonna come around and go to the stairs and all that stuff. But
Oh yes.
able to come in here and
Screw you, I can fly.
Not indoors. That's
it'd
rude.
be a little rude and awkward. So yeah.
No, not actually.
So you come into this room up here. As you enter Miss Balroris's office chambers here, you watch as she kind of looks over some documents and contracts on her desk. Random pieces of parchment scattered throughout the top of this oak table to the left as well. She's kind of comparing notes and looking over maps and such like that. And then as you approach, she kind of turns her attention to you, kind of happy actually that you're there. She's like, well, if it isn't the heroes of Ashenport coming to pay our fair city a visit, I hear you've had quite the adventure.
I'll kneel and say, why yes, my lady. But we are here now, and of aid.
And she says, and then how can I help? I hear there's still need in Ashenport.
I mean, we come aiding. Okay.
Oh.
Not needing aid. We come to aid.
I see. So yeah,
They sent us to help you.
Okay. So yeah, she nods and says, "Well, there's a lot to do. That's for certain. First things first, we'll get things ready for Ashenport to make sure that they're secure and everything's safe. Kind of been worried about Saren lately, taking so much time away from the city to try to stop the progress of the pirates. Is the city still standing though? What have your adventures? What have you seen so far?"
Well,
Kenku.
pirates.
We regret to inform you that most of the city has been burned. Or most of Ashenport has been burned. I don't know if it's city.
And she nods and says, well, we'll not only send reinforcements, we'll send some engineers and craftsmen as well to make sure that the city gets rebuilt properly. She looks back at Kaisis, who she was informed was this general, as you guys said, and she looks back at him and says, you, I hear you're supposed to be a general. And Kaisis nods and says that Saren put him in charge of a group of the militia to kind of move forward and help organize things moving in the path towards war. And she says, well, right now, I don't know that I can help with any troops for the war. It'll take us a little time. As you see, we're kind of lacking supplies as it is, and being able to put together a real army in this kind of situation is a little much to ask. But we'll do it. We'll make do, and we'll try to get things going. Narine will supply 800 men towards your cause.
100 what?
That's a lot of people.
800 men.
800? My oh my, you have that many in the... Okay.
The city of Narine hosts over 300,000 people
Yeah, on the
Very
grand
high
scale, that's
population
not
density.
much.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not that big of a city.
It's pretty big. It's pretty massive. And plus the shanty town, there are hundreds of thousands of people outside the city. There may not be a lot inside, but the shanty town is everybody from the rest of the island that hasn't been able to survive on their own. They came to the city and they're living in the shanty towns. Literally 3 and 4 people inside of a little tent or a hut.
Yikes. Well, my lady, is there anything we can do to help your situation?
Well, there have been some strange occurrences around the city recently. Perhaps someone as yourselves can help.
Do you tell?
Well, over the past few weeks, we've had some reports of people wandering into the Bridges Shadow Inn and just dying when they enter into the building. We have no idea what's going on, and we've sent our men there before and not had any luck. Most of our men think that the place is probably just cursed, and nobody wants to go inside. You know, I'm almost afraid to ask and see, but would you be willing to check and see what's going on at the Shadow?
Sure. Do you have any oil with you?
She quizzically nods and reaches into her little drawer here of her desk and pulls out a very small thing of oil that she uses to light the couple of lanterns that are in her office. And hands it to you a little reluctantly.
Is there any more? Cause general store.
I
Oil shop.
put my arm on his shoulder and just like, I don't know how you would describe it. I just kind of motion for him to stop.
What? It worked last time.
As much as you may believe so, it did not.
I don't recall it working.
And she looks at both of you and is like, I probably don't want to know what you're talking about.
The pirates are dead. That's all you need to know.
So, she kind of, again, a raised eyebrow to Skytarnath, who's asked for oil, and finds this whole thing a little awkward, and she kind of nods and says, Jeff will aid you in anything you need. If you need to look around the city for any other supplies, he can show you where to go. Otherwise, I do have other business to attend to.
Well,
What does this statue here beside Pandora look like?
The statues on both sides, actually. It is a warrior goddess of the city. Whenever the city was originally built, one of the head militia people or head ladies within the army became very well known within the city, and after many wars and many battles were won at her hands or due to her help, the city kind of looks at her as a bit of a folk hero.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
All right, so
Very interesting.
Jeff comes back to the door and looks in and says, anything I can help you with?
Well, you can lead us to a place of, before we tackle this situation, a place of rest where we can stay for our time here. We are quite weary from our travel.
All right. So obviously you've made it to Narine. Jeff nods and obviously is willing to help you and says, well, we can take you to a couple of the inns in town, get you a place to rest. It'll cost you a couple gold coins. for the group if you wanted to stay in a fairly large room.
Does that sound good for everyone?
It works well enough for me.
Okay. So yeah, you'll head back out to the city here. Go back to our city map. So you guys will be staying. I'm gonna take the marker here. The inn, right? No, son of a bitch! I just lost it. I gotta pull up the map. Hold on. Yeah, so you'll be staying at the inn there. If you're gonna stay overnight, like I said, it's gonna be 2 gold. You guys can split that if you want, or do whatever. That's fine. Other than that, give me. So who did I have do the D20 last time? Was it Pandora?
Yeah, it was me.
Lorigus, give me a D20 roll.
Oof.
Ouch.
You have got to be kidding me.
All right.
The inn just burns down.
That's a thing. So as you're sleeping in this inn here, you know it's a very rowdy group of people. As I said, there are a lot of people trying to live in this tight area here. And as you're here, there appears to have been a break-in in the middle of the night, and you have no idea what was taken. But you know that they hit your room, and something is gone.
What's gone?
Give me a perception check.
Oh boy.
So, yep, there's 2.
Okay.
Oh, good
So-
thing I can really see what we lost. Oh boy.
So as you're sitting here and you guys have kind of called it a night and everything, you notice that the small pouch of coins that you picked up from the croc is now missing.
Oh, god damn it.
Well, it appears nothing is missing. That's good.
Yes, of course.
I guess those thieves were just here to comb your hair and wish you good night.
Rummage through your
Yes.
belongings.
Cowardice is its own reward.
I'm not being sarcastic. I'm just saying all these things.
No, of course not.
I don't know. You have coin.
All right. So,
What is coin?
Yeah, it's a good thing that they didn't take anything.
give me a deception check against Skytarna's insight check. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you gotta be kidding me.
You're able to pull off the ruse, and Skytarna does not notice that you guys are trying to cover up anything. So what are you guys gonna do?
Well, it's
During the night, Pandora would have gone stargazing again too.
Mhm.
In the morning, she probably had carved in a nice symbol for Kaifon, and she'll be downstairs eating breakfast when they're awake.
Okay.
after breakfast, I'm going to go to the docks and just hang around by the boats.
Okay. Like the ones over here, or
Yeah, whatever's closest.
Yeah.
See
Yeah.
if there's anything I can help with. People need to move things, tie a knot, whatever.
So the bridge's shadow, so if you look at the map where the bridge extends out, the bridge's shadow is this strange little building right here, right next to the bridge. So if you guys are going to head to the Bridge's Shadow next, your closest dock will be here.
Okay.
And Lorius?
While they're doing that, I'm gonna be at the temple, just meeting up with the other monks and seeing what else I can do.
Okay. Yeah, so while you're there, if you're kind of offering your services and such, the monks of this temple, they say, well, we try to make food for people as much as we can, and you're welcome to aid us in helping some of the people. Other than that, we don't have a lot of work for you right now.
Well, I'll just watch the boats at work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you can help aid some of the people around the city, helping to prepare food and stuff like that. But really, there's not much that they are offering right now, other than trying to help keep the people in better spirits.
This sounds like a terrible idea. I'm going to the library, and she'll wander off.
Okay.
I feel like you're gonna burn something.
She might burn something.
All right. So at the southeast end of town, in the middle of the knowledge district of the city, is a very strange little library with a massive stained glass window, metal doors, and frameworks all around the building, and a very high-peaked metal roof at the top. The name of the place is the Repose Curio Library. The interior of the curio is pretty quaint, simple furniture and desks, some tables spread throughout the building. The building itself is 3 stories tall, with each floor separated out into very specific fields of study. And throughout the facility, there are a lot of scholars and librarians and such. Though there are very few people there actually studying or reading at this hour.
We're apparently in the sea now.
So what are you doing?
She's head on inside and start looking on. She's just going to be looking at titles and anything that might stand out as eccentric.
Okay. So at this time, like as you're kind of searching and you're looking through all of these titles, you do find books on history of the different cities and the different tribes. But other than that, you do find a similar book to the one Lorgus found, which you are not aware of, and it too is titled 1001 Nights: The Dragon Wars.
She will remember back to seeing things about dragons and look through that one.
All right. And the table of contents is in your little handout section. Yeah, Kaisis is just kind of wandering the city. Kind of similar to Lorigus, just looking to help in any way, you know, offering to try to help some of the people. But again, what's going on here is a lack of food. And there's really nothing other than you supplying a ton of food for them that's really going to help.
Shall we meet up and head down to check out the mysterious shack?
Okay.
The mysterious shack, the inn?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, and Kaisis will join you. What's Pandora doing?
She's going to open up to chapter 7. Chapter 7 looks very interesting. That's what she's going to be reading.
All right. So you are given chapter 7 to read. So while Pandora is doing that, it's going to take an hour of her time to kind of read through the chapter. That's just a bullet point, so, you know, I'm not going to sit down and write entire chapters for these books.
Yeah, that's fine. I gotcha.
What? Like, you're not an author too? Like,
Yeah.
a full author?
So you guys head over to the Bridge's Shadow. The outside looks very folksy and delightful, kind of modest. Clay bricks and tree trunks make up most of the building's exterior. It's kind of hard to see through the windows. They're very dirty, and outside's not very well kept. As you enter the tavern, though, it's pretty well lit. Everything's nicely crafted. Metal door with a very strange ornate doorknob on the outside. If you are entering the building, let me know.
Well, didn't everyone who entered die? Did they
That-
like die upon entering, or
that-
just never come out?
That's the rumor.
Remember to hit like to instantly die.
Can we burn it?
There are people inside.
But they're
And I'm
dead.
not there to start the fire.
And I'm here to say no.
Well, fuck it. I'm going for it. I march right in there.
And then he died.
All right. Is it the right one? Let me see. No, this is the right one. All right. So, you open the big metal door and you're welcomed with very joyful music and the smell of alcohol spilled everywhere. Not quite what you would expect, judging it by the outside and judging it based on the fact that people say this place is haunted. The stone beams support the upper floor and the sconces attached to them. The walls are littered with a lot of memorabilia of the area, people's, random hunts and making notes of everything that they were doing in their travels and things of that nature. The tavern is pretty packed. Several very long tables occupied by what appear to be the entire village, because the place is wall to wall. The other smaller tables are occupied by people who are starting to kind of reach the point where they've had a little too much to drink even so early in the morning. But nobody seems to really mind. The bartender's very swamped, looks over at you and says, "What can I get you?"
What is this place?
Can I, while he's doing that, like, just low-key perform an Arcana check to see if something's weird going on?
Yeah, give me an Arcana check.
Are we supposed to be seeing something on our screen?
No,
Okay.
you detect nothing of any type of magic at this point.
Am I also allowed to do, like, a perception check at the same time?
Sure. What are you looking for?
Anything suspicious.
Okay.
Though I don't know what that would be specifically.
You see nothing suspicious. People are drinking a lot. And that's pretty much it.
I asked the bartender what this place is.
He looks at you and he's, "Can you not read the sign? It's the Bridge's Shadow, the most well-known tavern here in town. Now, what can I get you?"
There was a rumor that people died upon entering?
Death? Did Malala send you? It's ghost stories, I tell you. At worst, maybe people got a bit too drunk on the sauce, if you ask me. These people just like to drink and drink and drink, but They don't seem to be able to keep their cookies, if you get my drift. But if I were you, I'd be a little more concerned about the cultists in the area.
Cultists.
I mean, I think that's what they are. Last guy had the fancy robes on and some pendant around his neck with a weird glowing symbol. Nobody wanted to remove it, though. Some of them thought that it might be cursed. But I just ripped the damn thing off of his neck and have it right here. And he kind of reaches in his pocket and pulls out this really strange looking pendant and kind of holds it out to you guys to take a look.
I'll take it.
So he hands Skytarna the pendant, and as the pendant exchanges hands, the metal door of the inn kind of swings wide open, and standing at the entrance is a man in a red and black cloak, and a very large Goliath wearing leather armor stands motionless at the doorway. The inn kind of falls silent.
Hello there.
Done. Oh.
Hello there.
Two men kind of look at you, and few brief seconds pass, and what feels like almost an eternity, and this cloaked man kind of steps forward and makes his way to the bar and sits down with the Goliath friend there with him. And everything kind of resumes as normal.
I turn to the bartender and say, who are those guys?
Bartender's like, I don't fucking know. People come in here all the time. You expect me to keep track of all of them?
Well, why did the room fall silent?
I mean, did you see what he's wearing?
Yes. Okay. Well, where are these cultists that you speak of?
I don't know where they're at. I gave you the only thing that I have.
Can I perform an Arcana check on this amulet?
Yeah, give me an Arcana check.
Would this be a disadvantage because I know nothing about magic?
Yes.
Well,
You see that it has a glowing symbol on it, and that is it.
Dusty, what's the shiny thing?
Dusty
He
is not with
turns
you.
and sees Dusty is not there.
Never mind. Featherhead, what's this shiny thing?
Well, let me take a look.
You see that the necklace has some form of magic imbued into it. It almost just appears that they're using this as like a spellcaster's focus, so like they can hold on to it and cast spells and stuff like that.
Well, as far as I can tell, it looks like it just glows funny.
As you're sitting here, you notice as the big Goliath starts walking your direction and walks up and looks down at both of you and says, "Drink."
Drink?
And he looks at the bartender and kind of points, and bartender, a little bit intimidated by this guy, walks over and puts 2 cups of ale on the table and says, "I said drink."
You want to drink?
"No, idiot. I want you to drink."
I drink it.
I do not. I'll stand up as tall as I can to this Goliath.
You stand almost to the middle of his stomach, and he looks down at you.
Good sir, who are you to tell me to drink?
"I said drink."
I put my
If you-
arm on Katana's shoulder and say, "This is treating us to a drink, and I feel it rude should we decline."
Well, I think the manner he's talking to me is rude. If I am going to drink, could you at least say it with some manners? Drink what?
Drink my fucking ale or I'll shove it down your throat. Is that better for you?
I quickly pick up the ale and drink it.
And then he looks at the barkeep and goes, "More." The barkeep brings another round and he takes it and immediately just downs this thing and slams it down on the table. You guys have drinks sitting directly in front of you.
I'm sorry, do you expect us to drink more?
Did I tell you you could stop?
But you didn't tell us to continue.
At this time, you kind of see this Goliath is getting very irritated with you. He's not happy that you're being so uncooperative to somebody who is literally paying for you to sit here and drink with him.
Yes, but I do not want to drink, you see, sir. I'm gonna take, like, a few steps back suddenly. It's, like, out of his reach. But not that he notices. Can I?
Sure.
My man, what is your name?
He looks at you. And he's like, "It's Gelmeyer. What difference does it make? I'm offering you drinks and you're disrespecting me by not drinking my ale?"
Well, actually, I have an lactose intolerance, as you might see. More than one glass is not good. Just like my friend here. I motioned to Lorgus, who's probably already drinking the next one.
Yeah, I am the drunken master after all.
He cannot stop himself.
And this Goliath kind of scoffs at you and grabs your ale and downs it and slams down the cup. Starts
Thank
walking
you, sir.
away, very aggravated.
Wait, Gilmore. I can at least compensate you for the ale that you gave me. I go to the bartender. How much was this ale?
1 gold piece.
I'll take a gold piece and flip it towards Gilmore.
The Goliath kind of looks at you. Just walks away. He doesn't say anything. He's just... He was trying to make friends. And the only way that a Goliath knows how to make friends, and that's to drink.
You broke his heart.
You broke his
Shit.
heart.
Oh man, he doesn't take the gold?
He takes it, but you can tell that's not what he was after. He didn't give a shit about the gold.
Man.
He was just paying to have you drink with him.
I feel bad now.
You're actually the worst. This is like
You are the
one
worst.
thing.
I thought he was like trying to poison us. Oh man.
How would he poison us
If
he
the-
literally has just met us and we're getting it from the bartender? who has
bartender
also
himself.
Just met us.
I don't know. He could be in cahoots with the bartender. It could be a pirate in disguise. I don't know. Bartender, are you a pirate in disguise?
Do I fucking look like a pirate to you? Come on.
I'm just checking all
I
possibilities.
just grab Skatarnith and just grab him out of the tavern. I just pull him out of the tavern. Do I need to roll a strength check or something?
No,
No,
you're
I
just
just
gonna
go- I go
grab
willingly.
onto him. And Kaisis is with you, and he does the same. He's just gonna drag him behind. Just get him out of the inn here.
Shit.
Um,
man.
as before we go, I flip the bartender a coin and tell him, send the man a drink for me.
And he nods and quickly pours another drink and shouts over to the Goliath, who quickly stands up and takes a drink and turns around and looks at you and kind of gives you a nod of appreciation.
Friendship
man.
+1.
Friendship +1.
I'm just gonna hang my head. You guys, follow the amulet. I'll just...
Okay, give me a second. I want to change the music now.
Yeah. Sad violence.
Yeah, let's find the sad violin song.
I just like started like he's gonna come back and kill me in my sleep, isn't he?
Nah.
Oh, you done goofed. He was gonna be the hero that would save the entire war.
Hey! That's Crod, okay? Not Gilmore.
Alright. So what are you guys doing? You have found a necklace from cultists. But other than that, that's all you got from this whole endeavor.
I say we find, let's head to the academic area and find Pandora. See if she can tell anything about it.
Okay, so you guys move over here to the curio where, well, actually you come over to the knowledge area and you start looking around and not really finding much. Most of these are little colleges and schools and such, and then you come across the curio and happen to step inside and take a look, and that's where you find Pandora sitting in the back kind of reading a book.
Hey, Dusty.
You're not dead.
No.
At least not on the outside.
So, what are you guys doing?
Was your endeavor productive?
Lorgus, show her the amulet.
Yeah, we picked up an amulet from the bartender. Says it's from cultists. Don't know if you might know something about it.
You think all cultists are the same?
Well, it's got magical properties to it.
That's fair.
Whoa, Lorgus, don't be cultist-ist.
That was even worse. Okay, that was
That's
even
bad.
worse thought out than the previous encounter.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible. Actually, your very next roll, I'm gonna make you roll at disadvantage because it was so bad.
I'll take it.
It's like inspiration, but reverse.
The opposite. Okay. So you hand Pandora this amulet. Pandora, would you like to perform an Arcana check on it? Or would you like to do anything at all with it?
Yeah, I'll look it over for him. 13.
So, because of your magical attunement, unlike Lorgus, who doesn't really have a connection with the weave, you sense this. Like I said, it's definitely a spellcaster's focus, but you feel like that this opens something, or it's a magical key that might unlock something in the future. But other than that, you haven't really picked up much other than, the fact that it feels like a key.
It's definitely your original guess, but it's also key. How curious. Also, I found this, and she's going to open up to chapter 7 about the tombs and relay that. They have some curious shrines dedicated to some dead dragons.
Okay,
with
so
the
you're
dragons?
going to send this to all players.
Yes, again with the dragons. Very curious, is it not?
Yes, quite.
It seems dragons are very important to these people.
Okay. So yeah, you share the historical crypts and tombs and tombs and tomes chapter, which gives a pretty good overview of some of the different tombs and stuff throughout the islands. You don't really know the purpose of the tombs or who these tombs are dedicated to, but you know, you basically have a general understanding of kind of what's going on with them.
Could this be that thing in the forest we saw?
The archway.
Yeah, the one with the dragons on it.
That seems very likely.
Well, if we happen upon it on our way back, at least we'll know what it is.
Yes, maybe we'll be able to enter it without being sent back home.
All right, so what are you guys going to do? You have
Dusty.
an amulet. You were sent out by Malayla to go check out the shadow, which you got the amulet from the barkeep there. Other than that, you don't have any other objectives at the moment.
Well, let's talk to Malayla, see if she knows where the cultists are.
Okay.
Yes, no, maybe so.
Is that what the party wants to do? Head back to the Citadel and speak with Malayla?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
Alright. Let me... Yeah, so we'll just put you guys right back where you were at then. Alright, so you load back in here. You come in. Obviously, you guys have been down to the shadow, and as you walk in, Malayla kind of glances up and sees you guys and kind of smiles and says, "Our adventurers have returned. Good to see the curse didn't get you." And she kind of laughs and welcomes you guys in to kind of come in and have a conversation with her.
Yes, there was no curse. It was just a tavern. Was that a... what?
She looks at you and says, I'm sorry. I sent you guys to the shadow because, well, you look like you needed a break from the stressful tasks you've been taking lately. So, when you left, I had my liaison Jeff put a cloak on and follow you to the inn. Had him grab one of our guards for good measure. I was gonna have you kind of have a few drinks and relax, but I hear that didn't quite go to plan.
Oh no!
Takes a look at Skintarnith
Oh no!
and just chucks the 1 ton. Just casually chucks the 1 ton pebble at him.
Oh no.
Oh no! Do I make a dex save?
No, it doesn't do anything because he didn't use a command word to make it do anything. So you feel the feeling of a little 3-inch pebble hit you in the head and it drops to the floor.
I'm just gonna...
I'll pick that up later,
Lower my
but
head.
like not right now.
And she looks back at Skytarnith and kind of chuckles a little bit and is like, "But tell me, did you actually find anything? I doubt there was really anything there. Like I said, I was just trying to get you drunk for the night."
Well, Dusty Shore.
Oh, he didn't get drunk. She blinks.
No.
She knows exactly what you're asking for, but in the context. And then she just casually takes out the key, and he mentioned, or what he relayed was something about cultists. I don't drink, so I didn't go.
She looks and sees this little amulet, and she's like, "Oh, he actually had something for you." Well, I know the deaths were all just rumors, and you know how an inn can get with all their crazy stories, but this is a bit strange. Tell me, Skytarnith, was it?
Yes.
You're a bit of a pirate, yes?
Well, I wouldn't call myself that. Anyone who knows me would call me that. I'm a sailor.
She kind of laughs a little bit. She says, "Let's say you to something a little more up your alley. The northern docks have received their fair share of sailors, in the area as of late? There have been a couple of rumors.
Do tell.
Well, we've known for years that the Eben Spy Syndicate's been running out of our sewer system, and we really have no idea where. They run all of their business at the docks, talking back and forth to the sailors and stuff like that, but they'll work with anybody who offers coin. By the sound of these rumors, it's kind of treasure hunting, I say. Collecting cultist information, assassination plots. I feel there's something far more mysterious going on these days, though. I want you to take your friends here, head up to the docks, the North Docks.
This isn't another shadow trick, is it?
No, I can assure you this is very real. And take that amulet and find out anything you can about all of this that's been going on with these damn cultists.
Is that a challenge?
A challenge?
Because I gladly accept.
Oh no.
And she laughs.
To the cultists!
She laughs a bit and is like, okay. Hope to see you back when you're finished.
Let's go talk to those spies, shall we? And I'll just dash off to the northern docks.
So very excited after having his heart broken by this Goliath here. Skatarnath quickly rushes out the door and the party kind of follows. You guys head over to... let's see, you guys were down here meeting with Malela. The docks are way up to the far north here, out in the shanty town area.
You still there?
Yep. Are you still there?
Yes. Okay, I thought it cut out for a second. Sorry. To the
Just
docks.
low key, just off to the side, I pick up the 1-ton pebble, and just to see what would happen, I drop it from like 10 feet off the ground onto, I don't know, like
Pavement.
onto the pavement, and shout heavy before, and say heavy before it falls to the ground, and see what happens.
And immediately you watch as this thing, it obviously is going to just fall at the same normal pace, but when it hits, you see it leaves this huge indent in the ground and doesn't move once it lands.
I say heavy again and pick it up.
And easily just reach down and lift it up like nothing's wrong.
Interesting.
Now, where are those spies? Can I
So-
perception check?
So, guys, head over here to the docks. Make your way through the market and past a few buildings in the Noble District. And you pass the outside walls of the city and find yourself amongst the shanty town, which surrounds it. To the right, a lot of houses and tents set up for hundreds of feet, extending well out past the walls. On your left, in these areas here, some larger facilities that house tradesmen and fishermen and the like, that call this their home for their craft and such. The facilities range from fish vendors to actual just regular craftsmen, but most of these buildings are far smaller and offer lower quality product than those within the gates. By the docks themselves, you get a quick glance around, and it kind of shows you most of the proprietors are typical seafaring folk. Splash of pirates and some roguish types mixed into the crowd, but most of them just kind of blend in with the city folk.
Since I am technically a rogue, do I see anything that like is out of?
Give me a perception check. Yeah, so kind of glance around the docks here, and there is one man that kind of stands out. And you're looking and looking, and as you watch him, you notice he's kind of hiding himself from you a little bit and kind of keeping his head down and his hood of his cloak pulled up over his head. And as you're looking and kind of watching him, he notices, and as you watch his movements, you immediately see he's getting a little anxious, and he starts running and makes his way across the dock. And
I'll dash after him.
okay, so as you guys quickly dash between the commoners and pushing people out of the way, going down the docks, make your way back to the walls here at the south. He's very agile, very quick, easy to move between the crowds. Gives him a chance to make a break for it, and he kind of ducks through the crowd and disappears for a moment. Your eyes lose sight of him.
Can I fly up and like get a top-down view?
Sure. Yeah, you get up above everything and kind of scan the area a bit. You lock back onto him, and you see where he's at, and Lorgus kind of points him out, and you guys quickly chase after him. And the buildings, of course, in this area are businesses, so it makes it a little harder because it's harder to dash between the buildings. Give me another perception check, though. The whole party can actually give me this one.
Ooh.
Yeah, so as you're kind of looking around here, you notice this guy that you're following has just kind of disappeared. You're in this little area here, this opening between all of these buildings. There's a bit of a clearing. And the buildings, like I said, the buildings are all businesses and stuff, but the only thing that you see in this clearing here, aside from the buildings, is a cistern entry. That's about it, though.
Can I perceive anything about the cistern entry?
Give me another perception check. Oh yeah, so as you kind of glance over this cistern a little bit, you notice that obviously the cistern's going to go underground, and there's an entryway, and you notice that the door is a little bit ajar, as if it was not quite closed, like somebody rushed through in a hurry.
Can I try and track him? Like, track the guy? Like, go in, see if I see anything.
Go into the cistern?
Like, peek my head in the door.
So you peek your head in the door, and you notice that it's a stairwell that leads down, kind of underneath the city here.
Guys, this looks suspicious. Let's go in.
Tread with caution, though.
I go in just as fast as I can, just bounding down the stairs, not looking at anything.
I try and catch him like for the first like few steps, and then I just shake my exasperation, and it's like, oh my god.
No, bonus action to dash and no, I'll use my action to dash and bonus action disengage.
Don't you only get that if you hit a person?
Nope, cunning action. Starting at second level, you can disengage as a bonus action.
Oh.
Okay, so Skytarnith is going down this stairwell. Who's following him? Is everybody gonna follow him down? Okay. Everybody's gonna follow him down then?
Yeah, might as well.
Alright. Alright.
Ooh.
Oh, this is suspicious.
Give me a second here. So, you open the metal door of the cistern, which fully exposes the stairwell that leads underground into the cistern itself. You find yourself in a 5-foot wide tunnel. The ceiling of the tunnel is arched with flagstone and concrete flooring throughout the chamber. It's very dark and dingy. A bit of mold in the hallway here, but you look ahead and everything is kind of glimmering and shiny. The tunnel is lit with a few sconces. The chamber itself is very big. Lights, like I said, the little torches light the path ahead. A massive cistern opens up to reveal a 10-foot pathway along the outsides of this very open cavern. The center of the cistern is supported by very ornate pillars, which extend from the floor up to the repeating arches of the roof. The pathway kind of gives everybody space to move freely, and several small floating platforms are built out onto the water so people can get a fresh supply of water to bring back. You notice there are a lot of commoners and such in the area, some pirates here and there that kind of blend in with the other people. The pathway, the one you stand on, kind of wraps around everywhere here so that random people can gather their water. You also notice some other tunnels throughout the building to your left and right that will take you up to various places throughout the city. A lot of people here, though. As you're looking around, you also notice there are several workers that are scrubbing to keep the surfaces clean inside the cistern to keep it from being contaminated. Heading to the south, you hear the sound of shouting as you watch a woman that kind of falls into a pit or into the water here after being kind of shoved out of the way. And you watch as a man quickly dashes and kind of making his way out of here very quickly and disappears around the corner.
Let's go.
How tall is the ceiling?
The ceiling itself is about, what did I say? Was it? Oh, I didn't say the height. The ceiling itself is about 50 feet in the air. You guys also notice, like over here in this area, a bunch of statues and stuff. There are also like little places here where these are stairwells that will go up to also various points within the city as well.
I fly after the sprinting weird guy.
Okay. So you head south. The commoner here is trying to help her friend that was shoved into the water. Go ahead and make your way where you're going to go.
I dash.
You dash. Everybody moves and starts heading that direction.
Oh, there's just a guy hiding in here.
This is the girl helping her friend, right?
Yep.
I push her in as well.
Whoa!
You're way up ahead. You don't see me.
What's this guy in here?
Just a casual hip check.
That guy is a pirate, just like all the other pirates that are down here.
I ignore him and just dash. I'm trying to keep up with Lorgus, who's flying.
Okay. You guys see nothing. The guy that you were following has vanished from in front of you.
Ah!
Well, looks like he's gone.
Never! What's this thing? Can I go up to it?
What thing?
The statue.
Oh, those
and
statues? Yeah, those are just the same statues of the folklore woman that you mentioned before.
What about this altar in the middle?
That is a water fountain in the middle. That's just
Okay.
kind of pushing the water up into the air.
Any secret entrances, exits, something. I'll just run around the room. Crazy.
So where you were at, no. You guys watched this guy run south and make a right.
There's no doors here. Where could he have gone?
Would it have been our right or the right from how we're looking at the screen?
So he was going south and turned west.
You went too far.
He
Maybe
must be in
went to-
one of these like little hallways, I guess.
Give me a perception check.
Boom.
Oh, that's just great.
Okay. So Skytarnith, you look down this hallway that you're in, and you notice that there's no light from the stairwell ahead that you're standing at, which means that the cistern's closed, probably locked as well.
Can I try and kick it? Like, go up and kick the door?
You kick the door, and your foot hurts now.
Can I stab the door?
You stab the door, and it dulls your blade. Take -2 damage from now on.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I'm kidding.
Good. Okay. He's not this way. Let's go find another
You
path.
must calm down. One of these days, I'm going to shout the word of power while I throw this pebble at you.
No, I need to find this man.
Why?
Lorgus, give me an investigation check. So you're kind of looking, because you're looking for anything at this point. You're trying to find out what the hell, or where the hell this guy went. And you notice your eyes keep wandering back to the wall sconce for whatever reason. Looks a little unnatural. It doesn't look like a flame. It almost looks magical.
What do you mean by the wall sconce?
The
Lamp.
little sconces on the side.
Oh,
the
these.
thing that hold the torches. Yep.
Oh, so over here?
Yep, so you notice this one here doesn't feel quite right.
I touch it.
And nothing happens. It's there in front of you. It's a little warm.
I push the wall behind it.
Okay, nothing happens.
I stabbed the sconce.
Nothing happens.
Can I take a look?
Sure. Come around and give me an investigation check. Has Lorgus informed the party of what was going on?
Yeah. There's something strange about this sconce over here. Something doesn't seem right.
It's this one here.
It's not a sconce, it's a sconce. Sconce is the singular.
Yeah, I said sconce.
No, sconce.
Oh, sconce.
Okay.
Give me...
I've never heard the word before.
Actually.
How?
What? So, Pandora, what are you doing?
Well, I wasn't down there, so did he like try turning it or messing with it, manipulating the sconce at all?
No. He touched it.
I'm definitely trying to turn it clockwise, counterclockwise, towards, the normal secret door candlestick mechanism things as she's investigating it.
Okay.
She's been around secret cults before. She knows probably a couple tricks or two.
All right. Yeah, so you reach up and you grab this sconce and you pull it to the left and doesn't budge, and then you pull it to the right and then you hear the sound of a click. And then a doorway opens directly behind you.
Door!
There we go. Open sesame.
And this is where we're going to end our session tonight.
Nice.
This is the cliffhanger. Yeah.
No, I have to complete the challenge.
Pandora gets shit done.
Well, I hurt Goliath's feelings, okay? So I get shit done too.
Oh, wait. What would have happened should I have failed the investigation check?
I would have let you guys continue to search over and over and over again until you found it.
That's cruel.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
It's a hidden pathway, and they are trying to get away from you.
Well,
I gave you the description. I said that he headed south and was turning to his right.
Yeah, so it must have been one of these, and we would have found it eventually. But, RNGesus is a fire goddess.
So yeah, that is going to do it for our session tonight.
GG, everyone.
Yeah.
Great session.
GG.
All right. Give me a
Good.
second here, guys. I'm gonna end the stream and then I'll be right back with you guys.
Alrighty.
I'll be right back.
All right. So that does it. Got it about where I thought we were gonna get tonight. Got him right where I wanted. They're getting ready to enter their first big dungeon crawl, so excitement. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing these guys get to do something other than explore the countryside, and should be fun. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll be back D&D Sunday, and again on Monday for Tyranny of Dragons, and then Wednesday is our Civil War Empire game at 7:30 as well. So hope to see you guys there. Other than that, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you guys for being here, and hope to see you guys again very soon.